Welcome to the next session of statistics. We are in the process of doing correlation and some problems we discussed on Karl Pearson method. Let us see bivariate frequency distribution. That is, I am considering correlation with the frequencies. Correlation with the frequencies. Correlation with the frequencies. In the previous discussion, we solved some problems based on correlation without a frequency. So let us consider when frequencies are given, how can we prepare a frequency distribution table. Now, there is no practical problem based on this frequency table, but it is a theoretical concept. One or two problems you will get on theory. Look at this, marks in maths, marks in stat. Let us take this is y and this is x. Marks are take 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25 total. This is 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25 total. So first variable is variable x is having how many classifications? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 classifications we have for variable x. Similarly, 5 classifications we have for variable y. Variable y. This is frequency. Now, when one variable is having p classifications and another variable is having q classification, when one variable is having p classifications and another variable is having q classifications, then there will be p into q cells we have. In frequency distribution. In frequency distribution. Look at this. It is a 5 by 5 matrix. 5 classifications row wise, 5 classifications column wise. Now let us see how many students I have in a class. How many students in a class whose score in mathematics is 0 to 5 and whose score in statistics is also 0 to 5. There is only one student in the class whose marks in mathematics is 0 to 5 and whose marks in statistics is also 0 to 5. In between it is having one student. There is no student at all. There are 2 students, there are 2 students, 1 student. This way if I take up the values I am writing in cell will represent a number of students, which is also called frequency. So here it is 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 1 6. There are 6 students we have. There are 6 students we have. One more time I am repeating this point. When one variable is having p classifications and another variable is having q classifications, then there will be p into q cells we have in the frequency distribution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So there are PQ classifications we are having. And the values I am writing inside a cell will represent frequency. That will represent number of students whose score is, we will see according to row wise and column wise. When I am writing 1 here means what it will represent, how many students are there in the class whose score in mathematics is 0 to 5 and whose score in statistics is 0 to 5. There is only one student, there is no student at all in the class whose score in mathematics is 5 to 10 and whose score in statistics is 0 to 5. When you are putting a dash means there is no student in the class. This way the cell frequencies can be freed. Okay. This is the first point which you have to remember. That is, when one variable is having P classifications, another variable is having Q classifications, then there will be P into Q cells we have in the frequency distribution. This is the first point which you have to remember. Let us see the second point. Sum of the cell frequencies are 0. Sum of the cell frequencies are 0. What does it mean actually, sir? What does it mean actually? Look at this here. There is no student in the class. There is no student in the class whose marks in mathematics are 5 to 10 and whose score in statistics is 0 to 5. There is no student at all. So sum of the cell frequencies are 0. This is the second point which you have to remember. Third point which you have to remember is, from a bivariate frequency distribution, from a bivariate frequency distribution, we can obtain two types of univariate distributions. First one is marginal distribution. Second one is conditional distribution. What type of theoretical question they will ask? How many univariate distributions can be obtained from a bivariate frequency table? That is a theoretical question they will ask you. Again, I am repeating this point. How many univariate distributions can be obtained from a bivariate frequency distributions? Option is 2. That is, one univariate distribution is marginal distribution and the other univariate distribution is conditional distribution. Next point. There are two marginal distributions. One for variable x, the other one for variable y. One more theoretical question we have. How many marginal distributions can be obtained from a bivariate distribution? Two marginal distributions can be obtained. One is for the variable x and the other one is for variable y. Fourth point. If there are P classifications for one variable and Q classifications for another variable. Classification means 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25. This way it is divided into 5 categories. So if there are P classifications for one variable and Q classifications for another variable, then there will be P plus Q conditional, P plus Q conditional distributions. P plus Q conditional distributions. Okay, these are the 4 theoretical questions you will get from frequency distribution. That is, when I take up correlation comes up with the frequencies, then how many theoretical questions? 4. First one is how many cells the given frequency distribution is having. That depends upon how many categories it is having, means how many classifications it is having. So when one variable is having P classifications and another variable is having Q classifications, then there will be P into Q number of cells. That is the first point. Second point is sum of the cell frequencies may be 0. That means there is no value inside a cell. And remember, they cannot be negative. No value inside the cell is negative. Reason is the numbers you are writing inside the cell will represent a number of students, and the number of students cannot be negative. Third point, from every frequency distribution, that is bivariate frequency distribution, 2 types of univariate distributions can be obtained. One is marginal distribution, and again second one is conditional distribution. So next point which you have to remember is how many marginal distributions we have for a bivariate frequency distribution. There are 2 marginal distributions we can get, one for the variable x and the other one is for variable y. Last point is, if there are P classifications for one variable and Q classifications for another variable, then there will be P plus Q conditional distributions. These are the 4 or 5 theory questions which you have to remember as far as bivariate frequency table is concerned. Of course, there is an extension of this table which I am not considering, not required for answering these theory questions. Let us move to rank correlation. Next concept for discussion is rank correlation. When we are dealing with qualitative data, when we are moving with qualitative data, we use rank correlation. We use rank correlation. When we are dealing with qualitative data, we use rank correlation. How to calculate rank correlation, sir? RS is equal to 1 minus 6 into summation of d square by n into n square minus 1. When you are watching this, you will get a doubt. Qualitative data means which is not capable of quantitative measurement, then how can we calculate the rank correlation? Okay sir, very simple. Suppose an exam is conducted to 10 students in a class in two subjects. One is economic subject, the other one is quantitative aptitude subject. According to the score you have, rankings are given. Rank number 1 is to the student whose score is highest, that is top mark student is rank 1. Second highest rank to third highest rank 3, this way rankings are given. Means qualitative data is converted into quantitative data by giving the rankings. Once rankings are given, numerical numbers are available, then we can calculate rank correlation, where D is equal to difference between ranks, difference between ranks, difference between ranks, N is equal to number of pairs of observations, number of pairs of observations. Why it is pairs of observations? Because it is a bivariate data, two variables we are considering. So marks obtained for one student in mathematics and in economics, one pair of observation. Similarly, I have 10 students in a class, and all the 10 students have given the exam. Therefore, 10 pairs of observations we are having. Now, minus 1 is less than or equal to RS. RS is less than or equal to 1. Minus 1 is less than or equal to RS, and RS is less than or equal to 1. Once it is converted into quantitative data, you are measuring the extent of relationship between the two variables. So finally, RS value lies from minus 1 to plus 1. Okay. Let us see various types of numerical problems which you can expect from a rank correlation. First one, for a group of eight students, the sum of squares of differences, sum of squares of differences in ranks for mathematics and statistics marks was found to be 50. What is the value of rank correlation coefficient? Value of rank correlation coefficient. See the solution for this. N is equal to 8. Summation of d square is equal to 50. N is equal to 8. Summation of d square is equal to 50. Now I have to calculate RSA's quotient. Rs is equal to 1 minus 6 into summation of d square by n into n square minus 1. 1 minus 6 into d square total is 50 divided by n, 8 into n square 64 minus 1. So Rs is equal to 1 minus 300 divided by 8 into 63. 8 into 63 is equal to memory plus 300 divided by MRC is equal to 0.595. And now I have to subtract these values from 1. So minus 1 is equal to, you will get a negative value on the screen. You can eliminate the negative sign by pressing plus minus button. So this is 0.4047. 0.4047. That is the answer to the given question. Okay, let's see the second question. Question number 2. In a bivariate sample, the sum of squares of differences between the ranks of observed values of two variables is 231, and the correlation coefficient between them is minus 0.4. Find the number of pairs. We have option A 8, option B 9, option C 10, option D 11. This way options are also given. Fine. Let us see. Solution. Rs is equal to 1 minus 6 into summation of d square by n into n square minus 1. N into n square minus 1. Okay. Now what is given here? D square value is given 231. D square value given. Summation of d square is 231. And Rs is equal to minus 0.4. So when I substitute minus 0.4 is 1 minus 6 into 231 divided by n cube minus n if I open the brackets. What will I do here? I'll take the values of n from options and I'll substitute them. That is, for n is equal to 8. This is first value. For n is equal to 8. If LHS equal to RHS, then I have 8 pairs of observations. Otherwise, I'll move to 9, I'll move to 10 this way. Let us see, sir. When n is equal to 8, minus 0.4 is equal to 1 minus 231 into 8. This is 1848 divided by, this is 63 into 8, 504. So 1848 divided by 504. 1848 divided by 504. 1848 divided by 504 is equal to 3 point something minus 1 plus my, that is when I subtract this 2.67 with the negative sign, 2.67. LHS is not equal to RHS. LHS is not equal to RHS. Therefore, 8 is not the answer. Let us take n is equal to 9. Numerator is same. This is denominator is 720. Minus 0.4 is equal to 1 minus 1848 divided by 720. 1848 divided by 720. 2.56. 1 minus 2.56 minus 1. This is minus 1.57. LHS is not equal to RHS. So option A is wrong answer. Option B wrong answer. Let's go for option C. When n is equal to 10, minus 0.4 is 1 minus 1848 divided by 990. This is 1848 divided by 990. Minus 1. into 8, sorry, 231 into 6, 1386. This is from 1386. Let me do the calculations again, sir. The value 1386 was wrongly taken by me. I'll check up this once again. 1386 divided by 504 minus 1.75. LHS is not equal to RHS. So option A is not the answer. When n is equal to 9, minus 0.4 is 1 minus 1386 divided by 9 into 80, 720. So 1386 divided by 720, 1.925 minus 1.925. LHS is not equal to RHS. Let's go for n is equal to 10. N is equal to 10. Minus 0.4 is 1 minus 1386 divided by 990. This is 1386 divided by 990, 1.4 minus 1. So in all these cases, here LHS equal to RHS. For n is equal to 10, LHS equal to RHS. So n is equal to 10 is the answer to the given question. N is equal to 10 is the answer. Okay. Let's see one more question. This is 66 and it is 0.6. Options are C, option D. Now sir, look at the solution. Given summation of d square is 66, RS is equal to 0.6, RS is equal to 1 minus summation of d square by n into n square minus 1. So this is 0.6 is equal to 1 minus 6 into d square total. This is 66 divided by n into n square minus 1. N into n square minus 1. 6 into 66. 396. 1 minus 396 by n into n square minus 1. So from options, when n is equal to 8, when n is equal to a denominator is 504, 396 divided by 504. From this I have to subtract 1. It should be subtracted from 1. 1 minus of this. This is 0.214. LHS is not equal to RHS. Left hand side value is not equal to right hand side value. N is not 8. So let me take n is equal to 9. So 0.6 is 1 minus 396 divided by 720. 396 divided by 720. Double 0.55. 1 minus of 0.55. So this is 0.45. Left hand side is not equal to right hand side. N is equal to 9 is also not the answer. N is equal to 9 is also not the answer. Let's go for n is equal to 10. 0.6 is 1 minus 396 divided by 990. 396 divided by 990 minus 1. This is 0.6. 0.6 is 0.6. LHS equal to RHS. LHS is equal to RHS. So n is equal to 10 is the answer to the given question. N is equal to 10 is the answer to the given question. Let's see the next question. Question number 4. For a number of terms, the coefficient of rank correlation between the people living below the poverty line and the increase of population is 0.50. If sum of the squares of the differences in ranks awarded to these factors is 82.5. Find the number of towns. Find the number of towns. This is the next question. Option A 8, option B 9, option C 10, option D 11. This way 4 options we have. Now look at this set. Given summation of d square is equal to 82.5, RS is equal to 0.5. Summation of d square is 82.5, RS is equal to 0.5 and n is equal to question. So RS is equal to 1 minus 6 into summation of d square by n into n square minus 1. 1 minus 6 into 82.5 divided by n into n square minus 1. And left hand side it is 0.5. Left hand side it is 0.5. So this is 1 minus 82.5 into 6, 495 divided by n into n square minus 1. Now again from options, when n is equal to 8, 0.5 is 1 minus 495 divided by 504. So 495 divided by 504 minus 1, 0.0178. Left hand side is not equal to right hand side. Option A is not my answer. When n is equal to 9, 0.5 is 1 minus 495 by 504 720. This is 495 divided by 720 minus 1, 0.3125. Left hand side is not equal to right hand side. So option B is not the answer. When n is equal to 10, 0.5 is 1 minus 495 by 990. 495 divided by 990 minus 1. So this is 0.5 is equal to 0.5. Left hand side is equal to right hand side. Option C is the answer to the given question. Option C is the answer to the given question. Okay, let's see the next question. The coefficient of correlation of the marks obtained by 10 students in economics and quantitative aptitude was found to be 0.2. It was later discovered that the difference in ranks in the two subjects obtained by one student obtained by one of the students was wrongly taken as nine. Was wrongly taken as 9 instead of 7. Were wrongly taken as 9 instead of 7. Find the correct value of coefficient of correlation See the question, sir. Solution, sir. How many students we have taken? 10. N is equal to 10. RS is equal to 0.2. Wrong value of rank is equal to 9. Correct value of rank is equal to 7. Wrong value of rank is equal to 9. Correct value of rank is equal to 7. Now, so you have to rectify this error from the calculations. For that, d square total is required. D square total is required. RS is equal to 1 minus 6 into summation of d square by n into n square minus 1. 6 into summation of d square by n into n square minus 1 is 1 minus RS. Just this negative value taken to the left hand side and this positive value taken to the right hand side. 6 into summation of d square by n value 10 is equal to 1 minus 0.2. 6 into summation of d square by 990 is equal to 0.8. Summation of d square is 0.8 into 990 divided by 6. This is 990 into 0.8 is equal to divided by 6. This is 132. So correct value is obtained. Sorry, d square total is obtained. So correct value of summation of d square is 132 minus square of the wrong value. Square of the wrong value. Why I am squaring? Because it is a d square value. I am calculating d square value. So square of this, square of wrong value plus square of correct value. So this is 132 minus 81 plus 49. This is 100. 132 minus 81 plus 49. So RS correct value 1 minus 6 into 100 divided by 990. So 60 divided by 99. This is 1 minus 0.6060. 1 minus 0.6060. This is 0.394. 0.394. Answer is 0.394. Okay. Let's see one more question. While computing rank correlation coefficient, rank correlation coefficient, rank correlation coefficient between profits and investment. For 10 years of a firm, for 10 years of a firm, the difference in rank, for a year was taken as, for a year was taken as 7 instead of 5, by mistake. The value of rank correlation, was computed as 0.80. What would be the correct value of rank correlation? This is my question. Solution. Summation of d square is equal to 1 minus rs into n cube minus n divided by 6. After readjusting the formula, you can write summation of d square straight away. So this is equal to 0.2 990 divided by 6. This is 0.2 into 990 divided by 6, 33. So correct value of summation of d square is 33 minus square of the wrong value 7 square plus square of the correct value. This is 33 minus 49 plus 25. So this is 33 plus 25 minus 49, 9. So RS correct value 1 minus 6 into 9 divided by 990. 54 divided by 990 minus 1. This is 0.945, 0.945. This is the correct value of rank correlation. This is the correct value of rank correlation. Okay. So this is something about rank correlation. That's all in this. Remaining in the next session. Thank you.